here's an interesting problem. We have been printing with this Amazon Basics Bronze. It says gold, but it's really bronze. But we ran out, and guess what? They aren't. It wasn't in stock. So I found this other thing called Basics 3D on Amazon, and it looks like it's the same, all I can tell. So let's go and open this up. It's a 1 kilogram reel like the other one. The reason I thought it was the same, I'll show you in a minute here. Is because the reels look identical. So it's got the same cutout here, it's got the same circle here, it's got the same starburst pattern. So my guess is these are identical. Look at the color. I'll get this other plastic off. This is a pretty good vacuum. It's not as good as some of the other ones I've run across. And it does have a desiccant pack inside, which is great. Always want to see that. We'll get that out of there. Yeah, so look at this color, it's identical. Now, since I bought this, of course, now this is back in stock. This is about $5 more expensive, but we needed it for our production, so there you are. So let's weigh it, and we can get a super accurate weigh on this one because we can use this as a tairing, as a 0 point. We turn it on with this on there, and it says 0, change it to grams. Take the empty reel off, put this one on, and we got 1,006 grams. So we got all we paid for, which is all I ask for when I buy a reel of filament. Let's go. It should print exactly the same as this, but you never know. So we're going to do a temperature tower as usual and see what happens. We've got the reel in the side loader, and I just noticed when I put it on that this reel is quite a bit wider than the one we've been using. So instead of using the 20 millimeter spacer on this side, we're only using the 10 millimeter spacer. On this side, we had to use the 5 millimeter spacer, and then it fits perfectly. So I'm glad I printed this axle this length, because this is the widest reel, as far as I know, that I'm ever going to use. So, and again, it's nice to have these spacers on here to keep the reel from wandering around too much. Keeps it centered, and things go much smoother with these spacers on here. As I mentioned on another video, I keep up using these inserts because there was too much friction going on inside the reel. A lot of times the reel would try to spin on this, and it caused friction. And you don't want friction when your reel's coming out. So this reel is just spinning on the bare axle. And the bare axle is made out of PTG, which is very slippery, so that works out a lot better. Let's check it out. That adhesion is good. And let's see. 20 things are good all the way up the line. Got some sagging here in the middle. Now, I was only using 20% fan because it's 50 degrees here in the garage, so could use a little more fan probably. And I probably wouldn't have had this sagging, but I'm not worried about that. So a 220 looks fine. In fact, 220 looks about the best. So this is printing basically the same as the other one, as the old one, so I'm guessing it's exactly the same filament. All the lettering is very crisp, so that's with the PTETG printing, that's usually not, that doesn't look as good as this, which makes sense. And you can see the top there looks really good. So we can print this at the same temperatures we've been using, I think. But just to make sure on the cooling, we're going to go ahead and do a bed and layer adhesion test, just to make sure. Because we go into production, we don't want to be messing around with the settings, so we want to be able to roll with it. Turned out looks pretty good. There's a one string coming from the last print point. Strength feels pretty good. Bed adhesion is perfect, nice and solid, but easy to get off. The raised printing looks good, crisp, and the indented printing looks good too. And it's strong. So I printed this at 230. I've been printing in cold weather. I've been printing 225, 230 instead of 220ish for PLA. And I'm 20% fanned because it's too cold to blow 100% fan in cold conditions. So, all right, this is good. So we're going to try a new fun project, just to do one last print with this filament before we start putting it into production. So far, looking good. First maker coin. I've seen other YouTubers making these. I guess you'd show them at conferences or whatever. Prove you're a 3D printer. So the lettering didn't come out too great. It's only one filament wide, so bottom looks okay. And the cutouts. This blobbiness here, there was a string at the start that I couldn't get off because I was filming, so that wouldn't have been there otherwise. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, it printed reasonably well, so I think and these sides are really smooth here. That's good. So I think we're good to go for putting this in production, and we'll go on and make our products. That's it for the bronze 3D Basics PLA. I'll have a link in the show description.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is STScI signing out, and keep looking up.